Hi, Wally.
I think Wally's got it right. Let's get this party started. So welcome everyone to the Rotary Club of St. Albert Club Assembly for April 22nd, 2021. I'm your host president, Mark Dixon, and I recognize executive members, board members, Rotarians, and guests. Please rise for the singing of O Canada. Excellent. Thank you very much for that. And our land acknowledgement, we respectfully acknowledge that we are on Treaty 6 territory, traditional lands of First Nations and Métis peoples. As treaty people, Indigenous and non-Indigenous, we share the responsibility for stewardship of this beautiful land. We do have some guests with us, but they are all gathered in a garage somewhere. So we're going to go zoom over to the garage and find out what's going on over there. James?
President Mark, thank you, my friend. How are you? How's everyone out there?
Woohoo!
Out there. We're in a secret location. We all have social distancing rules, and all is that is applying. So I can't really tell you where we are, but it's a special day today. And today is not only our club assembly, but it's an honor today to present our our Paul Harris Club Fellowship Community Award to Mr. John Liston, who is with us. I'm going to call upon Robert Gallant shortly to introduce John, and we have a special award to give him. Again, the Paul Harris Award was started by our founder, Paul Harris, a lawyer in Chicago. And really, that was what his only downfall was, his being a lawyer. And I wasn't going to say that joke, but Mr. John Liston's son, what's your name? Sorry, Liam. Liam is a lawyer, so he's like, yeah, you can use that one. But, in these interesting times, I want us all to remember all the things that people are going through and what's going on, and to be leaders in our community, and to be strong and to learn the lessons as leaders. The man we're presenting is a true leader today, and he's one who exemplifies the true Paul Harris spirit in all that he does. And we'll go there shortly. I want to share a quote of Einstein that I read recently, and he said, really, there's only one question that you have to answer, and that, do we live in a hostile world or do we live in a friendly world? And I chose hostile for some time, but I'm choosing friendly. And Mr. John Liston is one who chooses a friendly world. And so at this time, I'll call upon Mr. Gallant to introduce John.
Thanks, James. I don't know how I got bestowed on this honor. I've known John for several years. Man I've admired, very leadership. Every time the community does something, there's John. In the background, when something's going on at any event, any gala, there's John. And there were a lot of times up front and a good leader, but a lot of times if he's not there, you'll see him in the room somewhere. So, John, we appreciate everything you do, and we'd like to recognize you. And sorry with these times, we can't have a big gala or big celebration for you, but this secret location is going to have to do for tonight. So, I'd like to read a little bio. John Liston has been a vibrant and caring resident and leader in St. Albert for over 2 decades. And in that time has contributed hugely to many worldwide community organizations, To use his quote, "I love to serve." As his children were growing up, John contributed his athletic leadership talents in his role as hockey, baseball, and ringette coach, school parent, council president, and involved in numerous Worthy community sports organizations and fundraisers. John is a former member of the board of directors of the Caritas Health Group, overseeing 2 acute care hospitals and 1 long-term care facility. He's also a former chair of the Sign of Hope campaign with the Catholic Social Services. As a business coach and a keynote speaker, John teaches character-based leadership and principles of creating an environment in which great people can be at their absolute best. More recently, John has volunteered and a member of the Finance Committee of the Holy Parish, St. Albert, the board chair for Sports Central Association, a volunteer-driven Alberta-based charitable organization providing sports equipment at no charge to children in need. The chair of Mark Spector Golf Classic, a fundraiser for Sports Central, and the co-founder and board member of the TN 800 Men Who Care Club. This latter group, launched in 2016, has made an incredible impact in St. Albert community and its valued nonprofit organization by raising $360,000 to directly help a wide variety of charitable organizations in the community. These organizations include St. Vincent de Paul, St. Albert Seniors, St. Albert Housing Society, Salvation Army, St. Albert Sturgeon Hospice Association, St. Albert Victim Services, Stop Abuse of Families, Wilderness Youth Challenge, the Jessica Martel Memorial Foundation, Sidekick Mentoring. During the COVID pandemic, 100 Men, in cooperation with generous community members of St. Albert, contributed over $140,000 to the food bank and an additional $50,000 to the St. Albert Crisis Fund. John Liston, in conjunction with his 100 Men Committee, have been instrumental in leading the efforts of this community organization for the past 4 years, and 144 members of this exceptional organization and value his exceptional organizational and leadership abilities, as well as his sense of humor.
Oh.
John.
Was that his wife who was? There was like a little bit of this in the background that you didn't hear, and I don't know. I think
That was Mrs. Liston. She has to laugh at every joke. That's why they have a little nerve. John is currently the president of the Alberta Enterprise Group, a member-based nonprofit organization comprised of businesses across Alberta that represent major industries and companies large and small. Alberta Enterprise advocates for public policy by providing advice to government, promoting sound policy, and providing forums for the exchange of ideas and practices. As you see, John's never idle. He's been a valued member of our community for many, many years, and he continues to do so as the years go by. And John, we sure appreciate it. And by the way, for those that don't know, John was a member of our club for several years. And we sure appreciate the service he did there. We hope that Rotary had a little part in inspiring you to do some of this great work that you do in the community. John, I can't think of a more deserving member to present this Paul Harris Fellow. Please come forward. No, okay, and we can do albums. Yeah, we can do albums. Yeah, sure. Right. Pass it over. Go ahead, James.
Yes.
Yep.
You're gonna have to do this because my arm doesn't work very good. Here, do that. Come on. Don't laugh.
I wanted to.
I'm glad you're right, because I'll be speaking to you now.
All right.
We'll get this going.
All right. You ready? Just wait for this. Wait. Hold. Mr. John Liston, you have set an example for many by your contributions to this community. Your personal involvement makes your community a better place in which to live. The Rotary Club of St. Albert recognizes these efforts and awards you a Paul Harris Fellow with a certificate and pin. Everybody.
I'll give you this guy here. Put that on after. What was it?
Yeah.
Sorry, nobody seen that.
Congratulations on the camera. Did you get it? Did you get it?
No,
Okay,
actually,
we're
my
here.
camera just died. I'm
I-
Had last-
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Perfect.
Um,
Thank you.
And Rotarians, fellow Rotarians, we have also given Mr. Liston $1,000 to a charity of his choice. And so we made that happen. It's already all happened. Hopefully you've seen that happen. And here it is. John, we're going to get John to talk a little bit about himself, and we can present that. And let's get a picture, and then Mr. Liston will talk a little bit. The charity is?
It's Sports Central, where they help 10,000 kids a year into sports equipment that otherwise they couldn't afford. So thank you to all of you Rotarians for your fundraising, and that has already gone to Sports Central. They've got large smiles on their faces. Thank you.
Excellent. Good.
Look at that one. That's a good shot.
Thank you.
All right, and
It's fantastic.
Mr. Liston, if you could give us a couple of minutes and
Sing a song.
sing a song, do a dance, you know?
I'm still marveling at being talked about with a quote from Einstein. It's never really been Einstein and Liston have never really been in the same sentence. So thank you, Rotarians. I'm an absolutely huge fan of the Rotary movement, and just think of the extraordinary thing that Paul Harris did when he started this group so many years ago. And under the four-way test, 4 principal questions. And it exists today the same way it did when he started it. Nothing's changed. So it's really an extraordinary group. The work that you do is exceptional. And I learned that when I was in Rotary with, whether it's Wally Monson or it's Mike Keating or Bob Sear or Charlie, or, I had an extraordinary group of mentors that taught me about community work. And speaking of that, I've got one of my mentors here tonight in terms of John and Terry Farlinger, who were winners of the Philanthropist of the Year, the last one presented by our mayor and with the Community Foundation. So I've been blessed to have a lot of role models, and it's not really that hard to serve. That's the fascinating thing, is that there's so many needs in the marketplace. We're talking about the food bank today. Food bank shelves are getting thin right now. And we helped them out before, but the need doesn't stop. In fact, it's growing. So there's so many things we can do in the community. You just kind of grab a couple and do them. And to get acknowledged for it is kind of odd, in that you don't do it for acknowledgement, and it's a little humbling to see all the people who won the Paul Harris Awards before me. And I'm not sure I'm worthy of it, but I'll try to live up to the Paul Harris beliefs of the 4-way test. Thank you.
President Mark, I think that's all we got from our end, or do we have the foundation, the legacy now, or?
It's
President-
later on.
Okay, like what time? Because we're gonna be drinking wine and it might get loud.
We'll try not to make it too long.
Okay,
Yeah,
or do something, do a dance on the screen so we know we're up.
you got it. John, congratulations. Just sorry that I can't be there in person to congratulate you. So proud that we have been able to do this for you, and thank you so much for all that you do. So let's go to continue with this.
Yeah, guys, let's eat and, yeah.
Very nice.
So James, can you mute, please? James? Okay, I'll do it myself. Okay, so very quickly, our strategic plan, we talked about the 3 areas of focus. Eyes on the task, a look back, focus forward. The eyes on the task were recovery support, not forgetting polio, our club profile, our new fundraising models, leveraging the technology, member engagement, and evolving and adapting. We talked about a look back, and Alan and his task group made some amazing progress on this initiative, our 30th anniversary, focusing on past presidents, boards, projects, producing a document, the website, museum archives, highlights, reaching out to past members and youth programs. And the focus forward was member engagement recruitment, tying in with Rotary International theme, Community Rotaract Club, Community Interact Club, and planning for 21-22. And throughout it all, we kept an eye on each other. Who needs our help in our club, in our community, and in our network. So what were we able to accomplish this year so far? Let's take a look. So just a little flavor of the amazing things that we have accomplished as a club from the beginning of the year till now. And we've got 2 months left to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through some quick updates, our chairs and directors. So let's start with treasurer. Laszlo, are you ready?
Sure. I don't have too much to report other than we're all caught up on all our AGLC reports. Everyone's pretty much paid up all their dues. It's been a pretty interesting year with all the different transactions and things. So I just want to tell people that we're a healthy club, and I think we're ready for the next year with all the fundraising that we've done. And I don't know, for those of you that don't know, we raised about $53,000 gross at the wine tasting, about 40,000 net. The big thing this year is I did a lot of, I'm using the Rotary Foundation locally quite a bit, so I'm able to produce tax receipts for many of you. So that's another big change. But that's kind of my report for the treasurer side, if anybody has any questions.
Questions for Laszlo? Looks like we're good.
All
Thank
right.
you, sir. Emery, anything secretary you'd like to cover?
No, nothing for me. Just it was nice to watch that video and look back at all the amazing things that we did as a club, and yeah, it's been quite the ride. So
Nice. Questions for Emery? Nope, good. Membership, Craig, please.
Come on, there we go. Yeah, so the best thing about my update, I had it all prepared here, Mark, and then you blew through it in about 6 slides. So
Sorry.
that'll shorten. No, it's all good. So yeah, we've added 4 great members as shown. Ed Heitzman, Laura Starwell, Crystal Gossman, and Brian Fisher have joined our club. Another thing that actually wasn't on there, Rotary Day on the 23rd of February, we leveraged that to have a fireside chat. Stacy, Nicholas, and Scott did the bulk of the legwork on there. We had about 40 people online, including current members, prospective members. People basically gave an introduction of what the club is, what we do, why we're so awesome, and then took questions from the crowd. I just want to take this opportunity to leverage, and it was on there, to use this to pitch the lawn sign and window sticker thing again. So if you haven't got one already, fear of missing out, it's going to be a real thing here. It's only $20 to get this. It's $15 for one and $6 for the window sticker, or get the pair for $20. Cheap as chips. John Carl spends more a month on wooden bow ties. So if you haven't got one already, please put your order in. Jason Bondarevich and
he's not
and Ed
talking about
Hunter,
wooden bow ties. You don't have to get one of those.
So those are the 2 guys that are ramrodding it. So yeah, get them while they're still available. And thanks again to my committee. I'll just take a mention to name my committee. Great work throughout the year. Daryl, John, Ed Hunt, Jason, Dave Linkletter, Stacy, and Kevin Underhill. So thanks to all of you for your great work throughout the year. So pending questions, that's me.
No questions for Craig? And don't give up yet. 2 months left to go. Programming, Daria isn't here, but she's been doing an amazing job so far. And I know she's got a great lineup for the balance of the year. So shout out to Daria. Community service, Doug, please.
Thank you, President Mark. I think you're going to throw up a slide for me. I would like to thank the members of the Community Service Committee. There are 27 of them. I therefore will not attempt to name them all. I think one of the things, and Mark covered through his ongoing presentation, a lot of the projects that we had. This is just an overview. I think the most significant thing I want to point out is that the club contributed to various projects about $9,500. But this year, with many of our projects, we decided to double and triple our money. And as you can see, our $9,500, in fact, took projects up to almost $24,000. And I think that's the new era of fundraising, that if you can involve others, I think T8N 100 Min also demonstrated that when they did their food bank request. And certainly with Rotary, we did that. Through all our projects, even given the pandemic and how tough it was to meet, we did in fact have total volunteer hours of 300. And so that would be a lot. With that was with tree planting and the Christmas project. And those hours I don't include what would be the volunteer hours that it takes to work and manage the club. So that would be our report. Today, we have no current applications before us. Thank you, Mark. I'll take any questions.
Thank you, Doug. Questions for Doug? Not a one. Mr. Dooley is next, but I don't see him on the list of attendees. We kind of covered off the check presentations in the montage there. Foundation, James is drinking, so we'll get back to him later. Fundraising and events, flag program. Laszlo, do you have an update on numbers?
Sorry, my son was just talking to me. What was the question?
Do you have an update on flag program numbers?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So this morning we had a couple more orders. We're sitting at 354. We just recently purchased another 200 poles and another 200 flags, and we're hoping to sell 750. John, I believe you just received a whole bunch of things from Staples to mail out. So we're going to do our mail out right away. And Robert, he's talking, I can see him down there. He's going to organize a painting, fixing, and refurbishing bee in the next little while. And if you guys remember from last year, we're going to be doing, what do you call it? Probably drop it off at your house unless we can do it at his garage. So we'll do that coming up here pretty quick. So stay tuned to your emails, please.
Wonderful. Thank you, Laszlo. The only other update is RibFest, and Adrian is leading that. He and I had a meeting with the Rib teams yesterday, and they are pulling together their plans, and it looks like we're going to be setting it up at St. Albert Mall in the parking lot. So we just need to figure out logistics around that. But committee will be coming together. There will be a call out for interested folks to join that planning. So if you're interested, keep an eye out. Youth service, Dave is madly selling houses. So he wanted to let you know that he's so proud of the Community Interact Club and the work that Rebecca is doing. And she already had her first meeting on Monday, and things are progressing nicely, and got a thumbs up from John. So thank you to you as well, John, for your support there on that end. We appreciate that. Inbound students, Charlene, did you have anything that you wanted to cover?
Other than we don't have one? We've had a little bit of fun with getting past inbound students in and seeing how their years the year with the St. Albert Club has affected their lives. And our last one was Christine from Brazil. She was here 20 years ago. And it was great. I hadn't met her, but she's an amazing person. And Rotary definitely affected her life and her future and where she's at today. So we'll try and keep that up as well.
Thank you.
Till we get people back in person again.
Thank you for coordinating that, Charlene. And Jerry, anything?
Nothing for outbound, as you know, because of COVID, and so we're hoping to get it back on track next year. Was a really good youth information meeting at 5370. I can't even remember what the date was, but excuse my cat. Lots of good information, and I'm waiting for some feedback as to getting a consistent video, training video or recruitment video together that we all have the same thing, like each club that partakes in youth exchange has the same video and information that we can project to our recruits. That's
Very
it.
nice. Thank you for that. Questions for Charlene or
Why
Jerry?
is Jerry the cat lady?
I am. Here she is again.
Do not go there.
There's got to be a story there.
She wants attention.
Okay.
Well, if you're at the keyboard, she has to be there.
Okay.
Thank you, Jerry. Club service, Matt.
Yeah, not a lot for me. Thanks to everybody for joining all our virtual events over the past number of months. I guess the final event for the Rotary calendar year will be the changeover dinner. Stay tuned for more details on that. It will depend on what we are and not allowed to do in the next couple of months. But that's it for me.
Nice. Well, thank you for being nimble and creative, Matt. And I think that's the name of your children, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Promotions. Emery, do you want to touch on that one?
Yeah, overall, it's been quite the year so far with our social media engagement. The biggest thing that the club did that I think was pretty interesting was the Rotary Member Spotlight, which Mark put in his presentation earlier, President Mark, sorry. So yeah, it was fun working with everyone, and I hope that, or we hope that everyone enjoyed seeing that for, you know, fellowship and recruitment of the club. But other than that, social media is going to continue to become active and engage with us on social, spread the word, and yeah, let's keep having fun with it. So
Awesome. Thanks for your work, Emery. And it's okay to call me Mark.
gotcha.
And you saw the t-shirts in the presentation. They are available. Sandra has those available. So eventually when we're out and about, we'll be hopefully showing those around, particularly at the Rib Fest. Sergeants at Arms, John, sorry. Anything you'd like to cover?
No.
Okay. Works for me.
Mark, you're on the call. Do you have anything?
No, I'm good. Just at the soccer field.
Good. Nice multitasking there. History project. Alan, if you would, please. You're on mute, my friend.
Probably at times best to stay that way.
No.
I'd like to recognize some Rotarians have been very helpful and are working hard at this project. Anita Rachinsky, Ann Ramsden, Ash Khan, Bob McGinn, Fern Prue, and also to appreciate the work that Lori Christensen's been putting in addition to her work at the music festival. You covered most of the highlights about the scope of the project, but I'd just like to mention that we are trying to track down about 50 individual projects that this club has been involved with, and I'm sure there will be more as we go on. But we wanted to capture information on things like all the work we've done with schools, including the playgrounds, our youth exchange program, the Rotary Employment Program, our first of many international projects, which began with the Papua New Guinea project and with Jim Mitchell. Something that many of the Rotarians will remember, which was Rotary Night at the Races. Jackie Heitzman always came away as a winner. Our Ways and Means programs, starting with Anita Rachinsky and getting us to sell Safeway dollars. I think we sold $10 worth. We got to keep $1. And then as well, we need to capture as much information we can about the Rotary District Convention in Jasper Park Lodge that we hosted when Paul Moulton was the president and Larry Johnson was the district governor. There is one major issue that we have not tackled yet, and that is how to approach the music festival, which in itself has a history that's worth documenting and goes beyond the detailed scope of this project, but certainly needs to be highlighted. In any event, we're working away at this project, and we're hoping that we will have most of the information that we need and packaged finished by September.
Wonderful.
Accept any questions that you have.
I just ask,
Finally, really calling on a large number of Rotarians to give us some input on this. The people on our committee are reaching out to others. So this isn't just being done by a small group. Every Rotarian should be involved. Anita.
Alan, do we have outline of the project at the Botanic Gardens where we built the rose trellises over there?
That will be one of the projects. I just mentioned, just to highlight, but that's
okay.
There are 60 projects, and that is included in the group.
Yeah, because Jim Mitchell was in charge of that one, and he told us he would do the talking, and we should get the work done.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't work very well. But we've seen he made a major impact on the history of the world because Donald Trump took lessons from Jim.
Nice. Very nice. Thank you, Alan. Very much appreciated. Lots of great work there. Laura is not here with us this evening. I believe she is out celebrating the end of her school year. So lots of good progress on the Rotaract Club, as you likely would have seen online. Amazing, just what they've been able to do, including their most recent fundraiser. So kudos to the Rotaract Club of St. Albert. Music festival, I don't see Ian. Any updates from any of the other board members who are here?
Hi, everyone. It's Mark.
Oh, thank you, Mark.
We finished up the festival last week. We recorded all the stuff we were going to do for Encore. That comes out April 29th. So that'll be awesome. Great performers. The kids, like 6-year-olds, whipping their fingers down the piano. Got some ukulele. Just really cool stuff that happened at the festival. And at the end of it, everyone was super excited that they had something to work for. Tons of positive feedback. Check out the website on the endorsement page. Really great stuff. So thank you for your support. All the individuals that helped the Rotary Club and everyone on the board. It was a great success.
Thank you for that, Mark. Questions for Mark?
I could just comment as well. Mark did amazing work on this festival. He did so much work along with Lori in putting this together. It was, by Lori's estimate, 3 times as difficult as an in-person festival, and it was probably the largest festival in the province. So Mark deserves a huge round of applause for his efforts on this. It's been fantastic.
Well done. Thank you for that, Daryl.
Oh, thanks, Daryl. So nice.
And Craig, incoming president.
Come on. Yeah, not much to say. The district hosted its training last week, so there was a number of people that participated, both as participants and as people that were involved in putting it on. So I know Jody was intimately involved as the district learning and development chair. So thanks, Jody, for your efforts. It was a really well put together session, I thought. It was a beautiful day out, so that was keeping it relatively short was good. But there was a couple of keynote speakers that were very good, including Holger Knock, the current president of RI, summed it up, and it was really inspirational to listen to him. He talked to us for about 15 minutes, and he said that was his second one of the day, and it was speaking to us from Germany, and he said he had one more to go that night. So, and I'll also mention Laura was the MC for the event. So for those of you that managed to take it in, thank you for that. And I would just add that it's put on by the district for as training for people like me that are coming into board or executive positions. But anyone's welcome to attend, and they get some great speakers. People put a lot of work into it, and I would certainly encourage you to attend for future ones. And that's all I got to say. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, Craig. And thank you for the update on the Leadership Assembly. Great job, Jody. And last on my list is special presentation by Laszlo on a legacy foundation.
Actually, it's going to be Mark and Robert there.
You mean Mark, or which Mark?
Where's Robert?
Sorry, Mark, James, and Robert. Mark,
James,
you-
John,
Where's Robert?
Paul.
Okay,
Well, there they are.
I'll start, James, or
No, you're up, buddy.
I'm up. Okay. Now, a group got together a few months back, and I'm not sure how many people know about this, but we've decided to start a St. Albert Legacy Fund project. We're trying to organize something to bring a constant source of income to the club, rather than depending so heavily on our galas and stuff. So I've put a few notes together here. For those of you, I know some of you know about this already, and for those of you who don't, hopefully this will be a little introduction. Don't have too many details, it's in the infancy stage, but we believe that this is something that could go a long way. First of all, the St. Albert and Area Legacy Fund project, we call it. It's a private group separate from Rotary, with the sole purpose that all the profits from the fund go to St. Albert Rotary Club to spend as the club wishes. No funds or profits go anywhere else but to St. Albert Rotary Club. You may ask, why a legacy fund? Well, why a legacy fund? We have to look at history, why a legacy fund? We go back all the way to 1861 in his closing remark and summary of his book entitled Morals and Dogma of the Ancient and Accepted Scottish Rites of Freemasonry. Controversial author Albert Pike wrote, "What we have done for ourselves alone dies with us. However, what we have done for others and the world remains immortal." And with that in mind, we decided to start the St. Albert Legacy Fund, because hopefully this gift to the community will live on forever. And again, if we move forward to 1905, when Paul Harris started Rotary, 12 years later, Archie C. Klump starts the Rotary Fund with an initial balance of $26.50. In 2021 dollars, that is $594.92 in today's funds. And today, that foundation is worth well over $100 million. Now, we're not that ambitious, but we do believe we can grow this to a significant amount because we are starting with an opening balance of $20,000. And of that, we have had a gift and a special commitment of matching funds for up to $100,000. So for every dollar that gets donated to the fund here going forward, up to $100,000, we have matching funds. With that in mind, our goal is to have an account principal of $250,000 in 3 years, with all the interest and profits given to the St. Albert Rotary Club. At this time, we are planning to have the fund sit for the first 3 years, like the Rotary International Foundation, so as it can grow and develop, and the first payment would be given to Rotary in 2024. It's a very ambitious project for sure, but that being said, all the people involved in the Legacy Fund have made a commitment that their giving to the fund will not reduce their support for the Rotary International Fund or other Rotary activities or monetary commitments to Rotary. This fund is strictly an investment and will give its profits to St. Albert Rotary. It is not to replace all funds raised, but to take the pressure off the fundraising events and to attempt to produce a stable and constant source of revenue for the club. The funds will be invested following all Alberta and Canadian investment regulations and rules.
But one question on that, can we do Bitcoin and any altcoins or no?
That's a little gray.
Okay.
If it fits.
Dogecoin.
Dogecoin.
Okay.
Doge.
St. Albert Legacy Fund has not yet been given its charitable tax status. All the applications have been put in and we anticipate having the capacity to give tax receipt in the near future. And I guess the last question is, why a separate group outside of Rotary to do this? We do not want to affect any functions or activity of the club. And should this fund become, or should I say, when this fund grows to a significant size, we do not want Rotary to be a simple investment group distributing funds. This goes against the character of our Rotary Club. Half our Rotary Club is fellowship and projects together, and this is just to enhance all of those. In closing, I'd like to thank Rotary and all of you to listening to our group's proposal by going back to the year 42 BC, when the great Roman orator Marcus Tullius Cicero said, "Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all the virtues." With that, thank you very much. And does anybody have any questions? Must have shocked everybody. Everybody's quiet. That's pretty rare.
I just think that is worth a whole round of a stand-up ovation. All right.
No, we will be making more formal as we go along.
Seems to me, Robert, you're competing with the community foundation.
Pardon me? Sorry, I missed that, Wally. I think
Yes, we're competing with the community foundation.
Community foundation.
Okay, the noise is, I can't, I think the question was, how do we make sure that we don't compete?
Saying we are being with.
We tried to
I'm saying we are competing with the St. Albert Community Foundation, who's been in business for 20 years now, and we're competing with them.
Yeah, the community foundation is, we're raising funds strictly for Rotary. We understand that. We still, the people that got involved in this.
Going to the same project.
We're really breaking up for a sound here at this time. I'm not sure what that last thing you said there, Wally. I started saying the people that committed to this, the original group, as we've talked about this. We don't want to. Some of us have done a lot of work with the International Rotary and the St. Albert Community Fund. We do not want to take monies away from that. This is a complete separate. I know it's competing for dollars, but we really want to try to stay away from that. We want to focus on this as strictly funds that do one thing. All profits, all revenue from this strictly go to the St. Albert Rotary Club. We want to stay out of the way of the St. Albert Community Fund for sure. We don't want to compete with them. I know it's almost, there's similar funds, but they're slightly different too. And I think there's room in this community to support both.
What do you think? What do you think the difference is?
Well, the St. Albert Community Fund sponsors many different events. We plan just strictly to give money to Rotary on a blind trust. I mean, we trust Rotary enough that the funds, all profits that come from this will be spent properly through Rotary while we're there and after we're gone. The St. Albert Community Fund does their thing. They specifically target certain areas, and they do a lot of different projects. So I know it's a very similar thing, but we'll keep it strictly Rotary bound. Yeah.
Laszlo has a comment, question?
Yeah, so Wally, the Community Foundation, I understand it's individuals that contribute into funds and pools. This is, like Robert said, this is strictly a mechanism to basically fund, support our club in its many endeavors, be it the music festival, be it international, be it local projects. It's strictly for that. And a lot of us, some of us aren't involved in the Community Foundation, but some of us would like to be involved in Rotary this way. And this gives everyone an avenue, different avenue to do that.
Alan, you have your hand up?
Yes, one of the interesting aspects of the Community Foundation is its return on its investments, which I understand are being managed through Edmonton Community Foundation. So when you get the money in, who's going to manage the money, and how do you plan to invest it or what do you plan to do with the capital?
That's a great question, Alan. Laszlo, do you want to address that?
Yeah, so it's going to be professionally managed outside, but there's not going to be any personal fees on this kind of thing. It's because it's a private fund right now, but it's going to be probably aggressively invested right now, but it's not going to be in high risk things anyway. But it is going to be very well managed. It's not going to be random.
Who's going to manage it?
Probably a company called Fidelity Investments that manages about $2-3 trillion, if that's okay.
Don't know anything about them. But can I buy shares?
Shares in what? You can donate to the foundation.
Thank you.
Mr. Keating.
Yeah, we're just wondering, are you able to share any information about the matching funds?
Right now, the matching funds are from an anonymous donor. We can't say any more than that. We do have it in place, and as the funds come in, we will match dollar for dollar up to $100,000.
I believe that's already allocated. Laszlo, do you have that in your account already ready to be matched?
Yeah, so the funds are actually available. If someone wants to donate some money, it's going to be matched, but the maximum is going to be $100,000, and there's a 3-year window to this. So once the 3-year window goes away, the matching will stop. So it's just an incentive for us to use what's out there.
So Laszlo, I know you're a real conservative guy. I'm a little bit optimistic. So between you and I, what's your 3-year goal on to have in that pot? What do you want to see in 3, 5, and 10 years?
To be honest, I think we want to have at least $250,000 to $500,000 in the next 3 years. Our goal is to hit $1 million, and then if it's producing 5 or up to 10%, let's say it's even 5. That's $50,000 to the club every year.
Lynn, you had your hand up?
Thank you. So 2-part question. First part is what will be the role of every average Rotarian, all the rest of us, if any? And then the second part is how do you see that endeavor working alongside a fundraising committee of our club, which has that purpose of fundraising?
I'll take that one up. The day-to-day Rotary, it will not affect the day-to-day Rotary members. This fund is managed just outside. the group is completely separate from Rotary activities. It's just a group to manage the funds. And at the end of the year, and the fund will be analyzed. If there's a profit, that's a donation that he will give to Rotary. It'll be just one line in the general revenue for Rotary. We still hope that the gala goes forward. We still hope the flag program goes forward and goes to great heights, but it's just an enhancement of all, it takes the pressure off the fundraising is what it does. We don't want this to replace that. Like we said in our statement, we do not want this to become an investment club. It's it's just a line in the budget that Rotary will have a revenue from the fund every year, starting 3 years from now. That's basically, and as far as the day-to-day Rotarians, they don't need, it won't cost them any time to manage this fund, because this fund is completely managed, completely separate from Rotary. So Rotary has nothing to do with the fund, but the sole purpose of this fund is to give to Rotary. So it's sort of a one-way street. So we're keeping it as simple as possible, I guess.
Lynn, just to add to some clarity, I'm not sure if the question was regarding a competition to the fundraising committee as a competition to fundraising. I would say in its addition to someone who's saying, okay, I can give today to the food bank and we feed people, or I can give today to the Legacy Foundation and feed people for many years into the future as the Legacy Foundation grows. Is that your answer to your question, Lynn?
In part, yes. I guess I'm just trying to think big picture for all of the Rotarians, and I'm not sure who the members are of the group that you're talking about. Are they all Rotarians?
At this point, they're all Rotarians. It's something we want to put together, and there's no, we don't want this to be pressure on anybody. This is an option for a lot of people to they can put money into the Legacy Fund, and this Legacy Fund will live on for years after we're all come and gone, and something goes into the future, and this can grow. I was in my experience with this thing is I was at when my daughter was going to Ontario, I went to the Oakville Club. The Oakville Club started one of these funds for their own club back in the 40s. Now their fund is well over $1 million, and that's one of the big revenue lines in their club. They still have fundraisers, but that's one of the nice constant revenues that they have every year. I mean, it's been 60 years, but if we take a long picture, 60 years ain't that long. So that's what we're trying to get it started.
Jerry, you have your hand up?
Just wondering, who do you see investing in this, Robert? Rotarians only, or does it go outside of that?
Well, we're going to make the pitch to everybody. Of course, we'll make a pitch to Rotarians. Now that we've got matching funds in place, we'll make the pitch to everybody. I mean, if got people, we got to be like, and I agree with Wally, we do not want to compete with other fantastic funds like the St. Albert Fund. We don't want to compete with that, but there's still ways to get money, whether it's $25, whether it's $100, whether it's $1,000. Every little bit counts, and it's funny how fast this can multiply, especially when we got the access to the matching fund. So that's where we're going to try to put it out there.
So how does one invest in that? How does one donate into the fund?
We're just starting to work. Again, this was started about formally 3 months ago. So we're just getting the paperwork, all the registrations and stuff. We will come out with a document with that shortly. There's still a lot of these details that we're working out. I want to say, just write us a check. We're ready to take them. The accounts are all set up, but we got to wait till we get the rest of the formal paperwork done. So when the accountants tell them we're ready to take checks, we will be ready to take checks. I can see that right shortly. Actually, Laszlo will probably address that better.
Yes. So we do have an account, we do have an investment set up. The key is right now we cannot issue tax receipts. So we've seeded this money with our own funds, and if people want to contribute, they'll be matched, but there'll be no charitable receipts yet. Once we do get charitable status, then it's a full bore. But you know, if anybody wants to donate to this or put money to seed it, please, that's what we're here for. We do have an account, we have an email, all that kind of stuff. So.
From the outset, I see this as a great opportunity to offset all the stress and anxiety about fundraising. I see this as a very good positive. Thank you.
I just want to add that for those of you who have done Ways and Means, and those of you who've actually seen what goes into the work of any event that we put on, and a lot of people do show up, but the amount of work in the back end of all these events, it's taxing on the volunteer and the volunteers, the finance, all that sort of thing. So all we're trying to do in the long term is we're still going to do fundraising for Rotary, but you have to understand that the amount of work that's given to our Ways and Means people, it burns them out. And it's a lot of effort. And so this is just another augment in the future to help us out.
Charlie, then Craig, then Daryl.
There was a comment made earlier about there being, maybe I misheard it, but was there a comment made about there's no fees attached to this fund? Or did I mishear that?
So the management firm charges a fee of 0.7, but there is no other fee.
Okay.
And that's cheaper than the Edmonton Community Foundation, by the way.
Charlie, you had your hand up?
Yes, sounds like a very interesting idea, but can you give me a little more specifics in terms of sort of the organizational structure that goes from our club to the organization that invests the funds?
The flow, Charlie, is the other way around. The club just receives the money. That's how you want to set this out, just put a flow chart. It just goes into the club. The club should have, I mean, we're going to be soliciting for money through people that believe in Rotary, the people that believe in the long-term fund. Of course we will. But as far as the club, it should not take any hours away from the volunteers of the Rotary Club. And the Rotary Club will just annually, once this fund is completely set up, will receive a check from the fund. That's about as much taxing effort.
I also, like I put it on the screen, can you all see it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
So what it is you have the initial contribution, and we have the bank account, we have the investment account. Once a year, we will write a check at the year end to the 5370 District Foundation, because it goes from to a community foundation into basically our Rotary account with our district foundation, and our club then can spend it. So this is no different than what I'm doing now. When we raise money at the wine or at the galas, I contributed our money to the district foundation. Everybody got their tax receipts for their tax year. And our club, whenever we get a request in for $2,000 to send to Amarok or 5,000 to Vision or whatever else, I actually send a letter to the 5370 district and say, please send a $5,000 check to, and they cut it within a few weeks. And that's because of our direction as a club. And that's all we're doing. Any money that's raised, eventually the income will go into that foundation at the district level of our club account. Does that answer your question there, Charlie?
Yes, yeah, thank you. Thank you, Laszlo.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Craig, you were next.
Thanks, Mark. So I'm not sure who's best to address this. Maybe Laz. I believe the status of this fund right now is not for profit. Can you just speak to the road to conversion to charitable foundation in terms of what's not so much the mechanics of it, just sort of general timeline, etc. Thanks.
Yeah, this might be a Jason question. Don't want to put you on the spot, Jason, but could you answer that, or you want me to push it out?
I'm working on it.
So,
Jason, we want results, not excuses. You promised 4 months. Now you're going back.
So I'll take it off, Jason, then. So Jason looked into it. It is a process to get the CRA approval for charitable status. We actually got our not-for-profit status very quickly, thanks to Jason's research and work. He's now doing the same on the charitable status aspect. We presume around 6 months at the earliest. Latest, we've seen 3 years, and those are usually very complicated. So hopefully, let's just hope in the next 3 years we'll all have charitable status. 6 months would be better.
Thank you. Daryl, you had your hand up, and then John and or Kathy.
Perfect. Yeah, thanks. Well, first of all, I want to thank the gang for taking the initiative to do this. That's awesome that you're working behind the scenes and looking for some opportunities to help the club out and focus that energy directly on Rotary. I think that's tremendous. This is the third club I belong to. Like I've said before, I keep getting kicked out of clubs, so this is the third one I'm on now. And the last two, I think they both had foundations. Like definitely the Edmonton club had a foundation. And I think the Lethbridge Main club had one as well. So it's not exactly uncharted waters. It sounds like you guys are doing this a little bit different. And I know that some of the foundations attached to clubs, they might have had specific pockets and specific funds, more like a community foundation type of fund. And you guys are taking a little different approach. I think it's a great idea, and I think there's lots of opportunity with it. And again, it's not exactly a new concept, but the way you're doing it is new to me, the way you're generating the funds and then turning all the return back. So I think it's a great idea. Congratulations on coming up with the idea, and let's make it work.
Thanks, Daryl. Thanks, Daryl. Kathy, John?
It's me. By the way, I'll echo all the positives. I think this is a great idea. I just was sitting here thinking, and I had a thought, and I don't know who can answer it. Maybe, I don't know. Because we have a new not-for-profit charitable status, would we be able to qualify for a second casino? So could we get into the casino pool and potentially have two every couple of years instead of just the one that we currently have?
It's worth looking into. Can't answer that right now, but it absolutely.
Yeah, so the St. Albert Music Festival is a charitable status, and I believe, and Alan, I saw your hand run up there. I believe because they are linked to Rotary, they cannot have their own casino, but I could be wrong about that. Alan is shaking. Oh, Doug. Unmute.
I am. So my only word of caution is that when you're successful and you attain your charitable foundation status, be aware that you will not be able to write a check to the Rotary Club of St. Albert because it is not in itself a registered charity. So
Correct.
you're going to write to the organizations that are identified by the club as wanting to receive funds, but that's just a word of caution. The Canadian charitable organizations cannot write any funds to non-registered charity groups.
So again, I want to point back to the flow chart. The money that we do raise, whether we're become a charitable status or not, all of the profits are going to be sent to the district foundation under our club's name. So it's a direct from charity to charity or not-for-profit to charity. So that alleviates a lot of the CRA issues, because you're right, you can't write a check to the St. Albert Rotary Club directly. It has to go through a foundation, and we will use the district foundation for that purpose.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, if you can hear me, I'm one and not in favor of this at all. I'm not a big believer in endowments. I put in $1,000 or whatever it is, and I get to see the benefit of $40 a year. We have the Rotary Foundation. If you want to make a commitment, long-term commitment, you have the Rotary Foundation. I'm not in favor. That's my bottom line.
Thank you.
We've got other avenues that we can do the same thing with, including the Rotary Foundation. So
thanks for that, Wally. I respectfully disagree with you, but understand that this is a focused funds for the club eventually. The district, if you send money to the International Foundation, we get a piece of the money coming back, but we have to apply. It's very specific. It's very, it's not 100% that way. If we give money to the Community Foundation, it's the same. It's not direct funds. We don't manage it. We don't control it. We don't direct it. This is a way for you and I and the club for perpetuity. Whether I'm here or not, money will always come back to our Rotary Club, our family, our St. Albert clubs, our area. So and we as a club can direct that money internationally. We can donate it to the Community Foundation. We can donate it back to the international. It doesn't matter, but at least we can control this funds.
Yeah, just for clarification, if I could, Wally, because I don't want any misinformation out there. Anyone can establish a trust fund with the community foundation as a donor directed. And a donor directed means they can direct their money anywhere they want. So that's just for clarification.
Okay. That's fine. I can't see the sense of me making a donation and seeing and waiting to see the benefit of it. Whether what put $1,000 into a youth group or whatever, and I can see the benefit today, not 25 years down the road. So you go your own way.
It's great to have options.
So question
Any-
for Laszlo.
Yep, go ahead, Jerry.
Who would be doing the AOK? Would it be the board? You know, if we do establish this and it goes forward and everything's in place. So say we want to cut $5,000 to some project. Who hits the gavel on that? Is it the board?
So you're talking about the directed funds?
Correct.
So again, all this is an endowment that sends its profits to the district foundation, which our club has access to. So basically, our club, our board can direct those funds like any other fundraising money that we have. So our club for forever will have money coming to it as income to use in our projects. And that's as basic as I can get it to be.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I think it's a great idea, and it's been proven with the club that you mentioned before. So I see this as a win-win for St. Albert Rotary.
I think, Jerry, to add to your question, I mean, the beauty of this is we as Rotarians respect and believe in Rotary and know that Rotarians will always do the right thing with the right money. There's a diverse group with good hearts. We'll spend the money. The fund just makes money and gives to Rotary, and they allocate it where they see fit, whether that's an exchange or vocational or community or international. It doesn't matter. The beauty thing is the board gets to decide, and wherever it comes from, it just keeps giving on and gets bigger and bigger, and it will always be there. So I think that's and everyone has different views and visions, but my vision is to see my gift going on when I'm dead. And when my grandchildren say, well, my grandpa was part of St. Albert Rotary Club, and there's $2 million in that fund, and they give out $200,000 to that kid group and that kid group and that community. And I think, we're here for such a short time, but the world will keep going on long after we're gone. And that's the beauty to each person is different. So,
yeah.
Well, I think right off the bat, James, you're 200 million or $2 million. They won't be giving out 20 or whatever you said it was, 200,000. They'll be giving out 80,000. They're going to give out 4% a year, or whatever. They're not giving, what do you think it's going to be 10% a year?
that's the beauty, because we can control it. We can control it. So Laszlo is looking at Fidelity and looking 7-8%. I don't know.
Okay, what about the years you lose money?
Then the fund doesn't come, the money doesn't come to the club.
So Laszlo, what do you think?
So again, this is just an augment. So if we don't produce the money, guess what? It doesn't come to the club. That's why we're telling the club this is a private pool that's going to send money to the club in perpetuity. And if 1 year there isn't a return or whatever it is, we'll figure out a formula for a 3-year cycle, just like most endowments. But if it doesn't pay out, this is not to stop the club from fundraising. This is just an augment from a lot of us that, and I'm going to be a little blunt here, and I apologize if I offend anybody here, but I don't need another Louis Lavoie painting. I don't need another dinner. I'm glad to contribute, but a lot of us, we go to functions and we buy these things and we're going, I would just love to donate $5,000 instead of buying a painting. And this just gives an option for that money. Okay, so again, I've been on fundraising for years, and I see that half the members contribute to galas and things. I see the numbers, and this is just another option for people. But again, it's a private fund right now.
Thanks for that, everyone. That's a good, healthy discussion. But I guess to clarify one thing too is, I guess like we're not necessarily voting on anything right now. This is just a presentation, and everyone's going to have their opinion at the end of the day. And it seems like, you know, we're going along with this whether we like it or don't. But, you know, again, it's good to have these conversations. But, you know, I think if we, you know, if anyone else has any other questions about curiosity, we can go ahead. But yeah, a lot of the rebuttaling is too much for my ears on a Thursday night.
Yeah, it's a really good conversation to have. Really appreciate the initiative of this group of Rotarians going after this outside of the club, and lots more to come on this, obviously. I want to, Laura has joined us, and I want to give her a shout out as president of the Rotary Club and co-chair of the district leadership weekend. So way to go, Laura. Thank you for all that you do. We have just the formal part of this meeting to complete, and then we have a surprise. So don't go anywhere. So we've finished those reports. Let's do the four-way test of the things we think, say, and do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all
Fair to all
concerned?
concerned?
Will it build goodwill and better friendship? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Will it be fun?
So that's the formal end of our club assembly, but we have a surprise for y'all. Mr. Kenneth, are you there? Mr. Clark.
Ken Clark?
Ken Clark, and accompaniment.
Oh, we got some music going on.
Woohoo! Man,
Hey,
yay!
Dale, good to see you.
Woo, yeah.
Fellow Rotarians, guests, my pleasure to introduce a great friend of mine, Mr. Dale Marchant, a local Rotarian, amazing bike builder, Rolling Dale Cycle. He makes custom-made titanium bikes right from the ground up, and they're absolutely amazing. Excellent Rotarian to be, for sure. So, it's my pleasure to introduce my good friend Dale, and we're just gonna play a few fiddle tunes for you to finish the night off.
Somebody get your toes tapping.
Yahoo!
A little whiskey before I figure this tune is probably could become the Rotary Fellowship song, because it kind of relates to Rotarians very well. It's a tune called Whiskey Before Breakfast. All right. I don't know how the sound's coming through there, Mark, but hopefully you can hear a little bit of it.
We can. Keep up the good work.
All right. Oh, what should we do next? Are we done? I'd like to thank you all very much for coming out.
More.
Yeah. You know, you guys can go home, but we're gonna keep on playing. Well, I guess you are all home. Yeah, there we go. Well, how about a little, what are we gonna do next? Red Wing? Okay, you guys might know this tune. Okay. We've been working too hard.
I'm almost working at this
It's time for us to, coffee break now. Guys, no applause, please. Just send money. Anyhow, yeah, we're hard, we're hard time struggling musicians during this COVID time. So, any tips we appreciate. And I remember the last tip I got it was to buy brick shares. You guys remember that one? Anyhow. What do you got up there next, Dale? All right. Here's another two-step. There's a tune called Manitoba's Golden Boy. And actually, anybody that may be from Manitoba, maybe has been in Winnipeg and has seen the Golden Boy on top of the legislative building. So this tune was created for that reason. Manitoba's Golden Boy. It's fun, eh?
It's a great time. The wine doesn't hurt.
No, it doesn't hurt at all. Sure, don't mind if I do. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, Ken. Can you do the
And by the
Tennessee
way,
Waltz?
I want you to know that we're socially distanced. The camera may not show that, but we are.
We believe you, Ken.
How about Waltzing Matilda?
Waltzing Matilda. Sure. Sounds like you guys want a waltz. Let's do a waltz.
Great to see you out tonight, Dale.
Yeah, thanks.
Who is speaking there?
That was Daryl Baker.
Oh, hey,
Oh,
hey,
Daryl.
Daryl Baker, how you doing?
Oh, you guys know each other.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Kids went to school, swam together.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah.
I like the wine. The wine looks good, guys. Carry on.
Yeah, just we're drinking a 2016 Riga Nacional from the Douro Valley called Linda Velia.
That's exactly what I wanted to know.
Beautiful and old. Just like us, right? Yeah. What are we playing? Log Drivers Waltz. Okay, here we go. Oh, shoot. My phone just died.
You disappeared.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Where'd you go, Kane?
Jerry, you're up.
Are we cut off?
Always leave them wanting more, I guess.
Ken, where are you? He's probably got to log back in.
Maybe we're cut off and the meeting has ended.
Plugging his phone in.
Phone died.
Said his phone died.
Doug, give us a tune.
He wishes.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, yeah. I just
Friends
watched,
in low
I
places.
watched, Oh Lord, Where Art Thou, that song. I can sing one of the, You Are My Sunshine, My Only Sunshine.
You make me happy when skies are gray.
You'll
You
never
never
know,
know, dear, how much I love you.
Please
Please
don't
don't
take
take my
my
sunshine away.
We're going back to kindergarten. That is so sad, you guys.
The other night, dear,
Dear, when I was sleeping,
I dreamt you in your arms. Well,
you'll never
even if
know, dear, how much I
love you.
Maybe it was a
Please
parent.
don't take my sunshine away.
Apparently, we did not send them enough Bitcoin. Or
Somebody put a quarter in the jukebox.
to keep the performance
oh,
going.
there he is. He's back.
He's back.
Doug, put a quarter in the jukebox.
I will. Yeah, put a.
What happened to you? You ditched us.
Note to self, make sure I charge my phone before, we're on the computer now.
It's still us.
You didn't pay your bill, I know.
Hey, hopefully that, we'll see if that works.
We would love one more song if you got it in you.
One more tune, okay?
Yeah.
Or two.
You see us? Okay. Are we good? Yeah. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay.
Put his glasses
Yeah,
on.
that's what we were doing, eh? Okay. You guys still want to waltz?
No, we want something riveting.
Okay. Riveting.
Tap your toes, tap your toes.
Yeah, P of A. All right, we're going to go out to Quebec here because you know how those Quebecers like to party.
Yes, we do.
All right, this is a tune called The Joys of Quebec. Here we go.
Join in, Robert.
Okay. You guys want one more?
Yes, 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 yes.
All right. What do you want to do? Maple sugar? Yeah, sure. Okay, we're gonna do the Canadian Fiddle National Anthem.
Okay.
There is one of those? Come on.
Well, that's what I call
You guys can all sing along.
it. Yeah.
We're gonna sing.
Little tune by a New Brunswicker by the name of Ward Allen. He talks about, it's called Maple Sugar.
Give her
Maple
pooch.
sugar. It doesn't sound much different from the other one, does it, honey? Does it? It doesn't sound to me like it's much different than the other one. That fiddle always sounds scratchy and the same.
That was great, you guys. I love it.
Thank you very much. We enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
guys.
Thanks so much.
Have a good night,
Have a
everybody.
great
Right
evening,
out of
everyone.
Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick.
It was an awesome, awesome surprise. Thank you so much.
All right,
Thanks, Ken.
we'll lead you all out with a song called "A Shokin' Farewell."
Awesome. Great stuff.
Thanks, Mark. This was a lot of fun. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ken.
We're listening.
Everyone.
All right.
Dreary, isn't it? It's a violin Canadian song. Kind of a dreary thing. Ken May.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ken and Dale, give him a hand.
And not Chippendale, Cannondale.
I'm still there.
That's a totally different meeting.
Well, Ken, you better recruit that guy into our Rotary Club.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Seriously, though, he would make a superb Rotarian.
Well, then get after it.
Done deal. Yeah, expensive deal.
Come on in, Dale. Come on in. The water is fine.
Finish your wine. You'll feel better.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers, everybody. Cheers.
Cheers. Hey, Ken, did you get your door? Did you order a door?
I did, yeah. Went through LBH.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So they haven't put it in yet, Jerry, but I think it's probably another 3 weeks out yet.
Maybe they'll install it like a furnace.
Cheers, Jaden.
I can't believe how expensive a freaking door is.
Nothing's cheap nowadays.
That's for sure, especially lumber. Thanks very much, Ken. Yeah, you guys were awesome, and we'll look forward to you at the next meeting, Dale.
She won't give up.
I'm out of here. Bye-bye.
Good night. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, that was a lot of fun, deal. Yeah. Oh, we can play some more, right? Sure. We'll just jam out here.
We can never understand how come your partner hasn't joined Rotary yet. When's that happening?
Get to it.
Ken, it's Anita Rachinsky. I'm just trying to drum up a little business for our club.
Anita, are you still down south or are you back home?
Yeah, till May the 5th, yeah.
It must be hot down there right now.
It's a little bit warm, but we sort of got trapped here with some of the closures that they had to the airlines and stuff going back. So May the 5th it is.
Did you get your vaccine?
Both of them, yeah.
Good, good stuff.
And our tests. We're good to hit Canada.
Perfect. How long do you got to quarantine for when you get home?
I don't know, but I guess it sounds like 14 days.
Yeah.
But we'll do it at home because
Yeah.
we'll connect through Calgary, and there shouldn't be any. We'll be in Bond the whole way, so I'm hopeful that the quarantine is at home.
Yeah, for sure. Well, safe journeys back.
Yeah. But we're healthy, so that's all. That's the important part.
You bet. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Was there very many cases down there?
Well, when you got how many million people here, I don't know that it never seemed, it seems like we live normal, so I don't know.
So in your park, there wasn't obviously no breakout or nothing there.
Yeah, I don't know about the whole state, but it is a state that's as big as the country of Canada. So, but for us, we got our shots. We'll get tested 72 hours before we hit the plane. And I think if there's any disruption, I guess I'll call it, it will be when we hit Canada. So I'm not sure. Hopefully we've covered all the bases to get back into Canada, that's all. And we have to fly, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Good.
Well, we're alive.
Yeah, you're looking great and you're sounding great, so that's awesome.
And the sun shines every day.
Yeah, amen to that.
Good job, you guys.
Sure. Sounds good. Well, that's let's do that. It's on my mind now. I'll never get back to the other one. There's an old Bob Wills tune for those of you that are still around.
you. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, Mark. That's country, Well, this is way too much work. I'm working harder than you. You are. Oh, there's more where that came from. Oh, you guys are still there. Well. You may not know how to shut it off. Just pause for a station identification.
Nice.
This 2 minutes is brought to you by Linda Velia.
Thank you, Linda. I have to head out, Ken, so thank you again
Thanks,
for
Mark.
everything. I'm going to assign the meeting to somebody else so that it doesn't end and you can carry on.
No problem. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. We're just
Thanks again, Ken.